Blog Talk Radio.
I'm gonna testify. I'm gonna testify. Rastafari, Holy Emmanuel, Jamaica, Marcus. Behold, I come to teach all teachers, dismantling all of their false leaders, liberating all Africans. That's Rasta holy only mission. Liberating all Africans. That is Rasta mission. So tell them justice. This is judgment on Babylon.
Psalm 82.
מזמור פ"ב, מזמור
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty, the mighty, the mighty, the mighty, the mighty, the mighty.
אלוהים ניצב בעדת אל.
He judgeth among the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods.
בקרב אלוהים ישפוט.
How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. 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 Inherit all nations.
I'm going to testify.
For from the rising of the sun, even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering. For my name shall be great among the heathen, saith the Lord of hosts, 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 saith the Lord of hosts.
מזמור פ"ב, מזמור לאסף. אלוהים ניצב בעדת אל, בקרב אלוהים ישפוט. עד מתי תשפטו עוול, ופני רשעים תישאו סלע? שפטו דל ויתום, עני ורש הצדיקו. פלטו דל ואביון, מיד רשעים הצילו. לא ידעו ולא יבינו, בחשיכה יתהלכו, ימותו כל מוסדי ארץ. אני אמרתי אלוהים אתם, ובני עליון כולכם. אכן כאדם תמותון, וכאחת השרים תיפולו. קומה אלוהים, שפטה הארץ, כי אתה תנחל בכל הגויים.
Psalm 82.
מזמור פ"ב, מזמור לאסף.
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty.
אלוהים ניצב בעדת אל.
He judgeth among the gods. The gods. The gods. The gods. The gods. The gods.
בקרב אלוהים ישפוט.
How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. 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 Hear, O Israel, 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 Israel.
שמע ישראל.
The Lord our God, 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 God.
אדוני אלוהינו, 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 אלוהינו.
Is one Lord, 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 Lord.
אדוני אחד, 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 אדוני אחד.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, and on thy gates, my 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 gates. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn, and thy wine, and thine oil. And I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house, and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children, in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth, 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 upon the earth. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a riband of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a-whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. I am the Lord your God, O 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 God.
My advice to all is to fulfill the Ten Commandments. You are aware of the contents of the Ten Commandments and can elaborate on.
Here we have today's daily psalm. We have
Psalm 36.
מזמור ל"ו למנצח לעבד אדוני לדוד. נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי.
The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart.
אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו.
That there is no fear of God before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes.
כי החליק אליו בעיניו.
For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, his own eyes, his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful, 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 to be hateful.
למצוא עוונו לשנוא.
The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down, and shall not be able to rise, 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 to rise.
Get up, keep on moving on, give up the fight, yeah.
You're going to church on Sunday. There's no love in your heart on Monday. You're trying to show me that you know yourself. You better purify your heart, then you know yourself. You're going to church on Sunday. There's no love in your heart on Monday. You're trying to show me that you know yourself. You better purify your heart, then you know yourself. You better purify your heart, then you know yourself. But don't bet that it's your time, I'm telling ya. A fool stepping in arms, there's no God. But if that's your belief, my friend, it's too sad. But now you're trying to tell me that you know yourself. You got to purify your heart, then you know yourself. You better purify your heart, then you know yourself. Don't mess my brethren, 'cause you know that the truth I'm telling. But yeah, a fool says in his heart of hearts there's no God. But if that's your belief, my little friend, it's too sad. But now you're trying to show me that you know yourself. You better purify your heart, then you know yourself. Don't bet. You better purify your heart, then you know
Yes. Here we have today's Daily Psalm, Psalm 36. And previously it came up in the season with the Rastafari Sabbatical Study Weekly Torah portion 14, the previous Wayera. And here we have the Psalm for the 15th bowl. So I'd like to share a couple of first words right here. The Rasha, this is concerning the heart, as we have in today's daily psalm concerning the heart. One more time, the Capella with the Hebrew highlights right here. Opening
Psalm
portion
36.
today's daily psalm.
מזמור ל"ו למנצח לעבד אדוני לדוד. נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי.
The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart.
אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו.
That there is no fear of God before his eyes.
כי החליק אליו בעיניו.
For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful.
למצוא עוונו לשנוא.
That part right there. Yeah.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד.
So here, a Targum interpretation, the Rasha, kind of a study, sermon, so to speak, but going into a study on the reasoning right here in connection with the 14th sabbatical study, and here moving into the 15th, Pharaoh's heart. In fact, when we talk about the hardening of Pharaoh's heart, more ones and ones are beginning to study and begin to see that the words used in the Sefer Shemot, in the Exodus, Yetziat Mitzrayim narrative, the Exodus translated narrative KJV for harden, there are at least 3 different words that are used, and they don't necessarily mean harden in the sense of hardening. We'll get into that study as we move forward, but right here, in connection with today's daily psalm, according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, after the order of Melchizedek, we have Psalm 36. Shema Yisrael.
Lamed, wow. Mizmor Lamed Vav. Mizmor. Lamnat Eya. Mizmor Lamed, wow. Mizmor Lamed Vav. Mizmor Lamed, wow. Lamnat Eya. Le'aveda Yehovah Le'Dawid. Lamnat Eya. Le'aved Yehovah Le'Dawid. Lamnat Eya. Le'avedi Yehovah Le'Dawid. Ne'uma Pesha'a. La Rasha'a Be'kareva Levi. Eina Pachad Elohim Le'negeda Aynayu. For the leader, the chief musician, a psalm of David, the servant of Hashem, of Yod-Heh, Weh-Heh, of Adonai. La Menat Eyach, Le-Eved Yehovah, Le-Evedi Yahuwah, Le-Dawid. Neum Pesha, Neum Pesha, La Rasha, Be'kareva Levi. Transgression speaketh to the wicked, the ratchet. Speaketh to the wicked, the ratchet, Neum. Interesting set of words right here we have in today's daily psalm, Psalm 36, the Lamed. We have the Lamed Gimel. And the psalms in this series of psalms here, according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, is particularly interesting thematically, speaking of the theme Chabarim and the fellow Talmudim and our fellow disciples. And here, giving an ear to what the small still voice of Rabbeinu Yeshua HaMoshiach, I Rabbi is teaching I in spirit and in truth, as on the fellows and even the student teachers, but student tutor here. Let me share a couple of first words right here in today's daily psalm, the 36th psalm, to chief musician, a psalm of David. Interesting, David. Le Ebed Yehovah, Le Ebedi Yehovah, Le Ebedi Yehovah, Le Ebedi Yehovah, Le David, the Ebed Yehovah, the Ebed of Hashem, the Ebed of Adonai. He is the servant, the Ebed, Le Ebed, Le Ebed, Le Ebed Adonai, Le David. Transgression of the wicked saith. Now, KJV here has the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart. Then there's the italicization, and we've been speaking a lot on the italicization, especially at the first degrees, the basic, just the basic levels. KJV, you know, hopefully ones and ones have their scripts, you know, if they are able to be in the studies, but when they get a chance, opportunity, check out the KJV and also get a good Schofield Study Bible, Chabarim, right? A good Schofield Study Bible. Interesting, the theme of today's daily psalm, and let's just bring some of the other tools that we have here as well, because for a workman to study to shew thyself approved to Elohim as a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing or explaining, right, to explain, dividing the word of truth. You're hearing a bunch of words and you take the true, right, that which is true in your sight, you know, because you have the right study, the right perspective of heart and mind. So study to show yourself approved as a workman that need not be ashamed, because there might be ones doing work, but they have not studied. So we need the tools as well, right? So one of the tools is the Bible, the scripture, Schofield Study Bible, Basic English. Now here in the Basic English, we have the superscription. We touched on that. To the chief musician, a psalm. Now note the psalm word. A psalm is italicized because it's not there in the Hebrew. In the Hebrew we have la menatzeyah le ebediyawa le David. So we have to the chief musician of David, the servant of the Lord. That's what will be there. But now, of course, we have a psalm because it helps to kind of supply the sense, especially for the Western Gentile, the reader. But here, in returning to the groundation, the roots, we have the transgression of the wicked saith, it says in the KJV, within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. No fear of God before his eyes. Now, I note right here in my Bible, the hard copy, I circled in a red pen, my heart. In the first verse. Second verse, I circled until. And then I also circled to be hateful. As my heart until to be hateful. These are the words I circled. I'll take maybe a snapshot, you know, not screenshot, but a snapshot of it so ones and ones can see it. Now, what I did, I used to do in my older Bibles, I had another Bible, it wasn't a Schofield Study Bible, it was a KJV. It was actually one that had even, you know, King James, the preface, like the Mekdem, you know, that he had. Very, very interesting read. You know, it had some of the early things that were published in the first one. A lot of us, we have the King James Version, but there was additional, you know, that's why some point to the 1611 and certain other documents, and I would share that with them as far as getting a fuller fold. That's why we recommend the Schofield Study Bible. But right here, getting into today's daily psalm, and just right here at the gate, you know how we like to do the Abu Gi, right? Abu Gi or the ABGs. The first three verses often to get a good context of the psalm. So here we have divine loving kindness. Today's daily psalm is themed as divine loving kindness, themed that way in the Sefer Tehillim here in the Hebrew Psalter. Right? The main theme is the attributes of Elohim. The main theme in today's daily psalm is the attributes, the midot of Ha-Elohim. Particularly his love for his creatures, his love for his creation. Its glory is brought into prominence by being set beside the sinfulness, the uckfulness of the wicked, of the ratchet, the Rasha, the Rasha'i. Now, the poem in the Kufuot by Marinya speaking, the poem, it begins with a characterization of the godless, the characterization of the Jah-less, those without Jah. but soon turns from their sordidness to extol, to dig up the goodness of the true good, the true God, Ha-Elohim, in language of striking beauty. This is what we have in today's daily psalm as a basic overview of the Lamed Wow. Lamed Wow, some might say Lamed Vav, Lamed Wow. Psalm XXXVI, Psalm 36, and here this psalm here in the Royal Orders, today's daily psalm, Psalm 36. Though evil men, ratchet men plan to harm and to hurt others, the psalmist and I and we of the church of the firstborn, of the new name, that precious name, Rastafari, we are confident in the victory, the Yeshua, the victory, salvation of the good over the evil, that Ha'adon, that Adonai, Jah, Rastafari is the just ruler. Right, the just ruler of the earth, earth's rightful ruler, who gives and sustains, the sustainer of the light of the firstborn of the chosen nation, sustains all life, the sustainer, the good, the generous Ab, Father. So, I pray, speak words, sound and powerful, divine baraka, blessing and protection, guidance and protection, and anticipating, this is the key, anticipating, looking forward to God's judgment of the wicked, of the ratchet. This is what this psalm, today's daily psalm, is all about. So looking at this first verse right here, let's take a look at this first verse right here, particularly in the Hebrew. So what we have in today's daily psalm, let's just look at this right here. We have the Aleph verse in the Hebrew. The Aleph verse, the first verse is a superscription. So that means the verses are off by one particular verse. Just to point that out to the brothers and the sisters right there. But in the English, we have this. It says, the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. Now here in the Hebrew, the Sefer Tehillim, we have Ne'um Pesha, La Rasha, B'kareva libi, Ein pachad Elohim l'neged aynayo, l'neged aynayo. The translation, transgression, speaketh to the wicked, methinks. There is no fear of God, Elohim, let's say Elohim, before his eyes. Ein pachad, there's no fear, there's no dread. Ein, without pachad, without any fear or dread of Elohim. Ein pachad Elohim, l'neged aynayo, before his eyes. So the first word we have is Ne'um. Ne'um. In the Hebrew text, the word Ne'um, a Ne'um is oracle. And this appears at the beginning of the next verse as well. We have this at the beginning of the next verse. We have an oracle. Interesting. We have an oracle, all right? It's like verse 2. Like in verse 2 right here, for he is too proud to recognize and to give up his uckery. Right? In the Hebrew text, because the superscription is considered verse 1. The superscription is considered verse 1. So the resulting reading is an oracle of the rebellion of the wicked is in the midst of my heart, is how some Bibles translate it, looking again at the Hebrew. That's what we have here, the Ne'um Pesha'a La Rasha B'karev Levi would be translated as an oracle of rebellion for the wicked is in the midst of my heart, apparently means, some say, that the psalm, the Mizmor, which foresees the downfall of the wicked, of the ratchet, the Rasha'im, is a prophetic oracle. So some look at this based on this first word we have, Ne'um, the oracle. Based on this prophetic oracle about the rebellion of the wicked, which emerges from the soul of the psalmist. So this oracle against the rebellion of the wicked, right, is emerging, we could say even emanating in that sense, coming forward, coming out from the soul of the psalmist. And who's the psalmist here? Le'ebedi Yahuwah, Le'ebedi Yahuwah, Le'ebedi Yahuwah, Le'Dawid. of David, the servant of Adonai, the servant of Hashem. Yod Hey Weh Hey. So one could translate as, here is a poem written as I reflected on the rebellious character of evil, of ratchet men, based on this superscription in the Hebrew. Ne'um Pesha, Ne'um Pesha La Rasha, Bekareva Levi. Instead of what we have here, transgression speaketh to the wicked, methinks, or in the KJV, the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart. Then they put in the italicization that there is, and then outside of that, no fear of Elohim before his eyes. So the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, no fear of Elohim before his eyes. In that context, does that work? Another option followed in translation above is to attach the Ne'um, or oracle, with the superscription. For another example of a Davidic poem beginning and being labeled an oracle, we have in 2 Samuel chapter 23 and 1, where it says, these are the final words of David, of Dawid. It begins off in the Hebrew as the oracle of David, son of Jesse. The oracle, the Ne'um, the oracle of the man raised up as the ruler chosen by the Elohai Haliyah of Yaakov, Yisrael's beloved singer of songs, a sweet singer of Yisrael. So the rebellion of the evil man is in the midst of my heart. The translation assumes, that sort of translation, a reading in the midst of my heart, where it uses in the Hebrew Bikarev or Kareb Levi, in the midst of my heart, Levi. The translation assuming the midst of his heart to the core instead of in the midst of my heart, a change which finds, some say, support in a few of the medieval Hebrew manuscripts, or MSS. Now, the Hebrew text of Oregon's Hexapla, or Hexapla, Hexapla, and the Syriac as well. The Hebrew brings out, there is no dread of Elohim. Ein pachad Elohim lineged anayo. Before his eyes, there is no dread. Ein pachad Elohim. There's no dread, pachad, of Elohim before his eyes. Lineged anayo. Before his eyes. The phrase dread of God. The dread of God. The pachad Elohim. It refers to a healthy respect for Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, which recognizes that he who be who he be will punish evil behavior, or that there are consequences, especially in the blameless creation. There's a consequence, or one may look at it as that Elohim signifying the judgment name, or the Shofet, Mishpot name, will judge and will bring it into judgment, unlike the atheistic sentiment riding through some of the Psalms, even in this season, where it says, Ain Elohim, that there is no Elohim, Hebraically to imply that there is no judgment, do what thou wilt. It goes on as it always does. Look, there's some evil, bad thing happen, and if there was a God, somebody will punish them. That sort of Ain Elohim attitude. As far as Elohim not existing, in the sense of there's no God, that's not the Hebraic sense. That right there, that's a philosophical bullshit, basically. And most people will say, well, I'm an atheist, there's no God. That's your God. Your no God is your God. But they don't understand what God is, and that's maybe the problem right there. But anyway, this is just an opening right here, looking at this first, this first opening verse right here, the divine loving kindness, the divine, loving, kind man, and we're going to pick up on this a little bit more. Take a Selah.
Selassie is our master, yeah.
Yes. We're going to pick up with the first three aliyot. First three aliyot here for the 15th weekly Torah portion, reading and feeding for this Shabbat Bo. Sabbath go in, like end to end, go in. Like when somebody says that he went in on him. This is what Moshe and Aharon are called to do. Go in on Paro. And this whole heart situation, Pharaoh's heart, Yeah. Let's pick up right here. First three
Well,
audio.
the eyes of master, yeah, for the enemies are confounded. Rastafari power overthrow them, yeah. You're going to church on Sunday. There's no love in your heart on Monday. You're trying to show me that you know yourself. You better purify your heart, then you know yourself.
In other words, some of the beliefs of the ancient Mitzrayim, the Tawi, people of the two lands called the ancient Egyptians, was concerning this weighing of the heart. You remember that? The weighing of the heart. Well, yeah. Heavy. Yeah, weight is the heavy load. Right here, let's pick up the first three Ali Oat. Right here for this sabbatical.
Glory be to the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Glory be. We're going to ride up here for this force. Shalom, Habarim, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Sembet Salam. And for this 15th weekly Torah portion, reading and feeding for this sabbatical study, RSS number 15, Bo Gibba. Go in. Bo Il Paro. Go into Pharaoh. This week's Torah portion, reading and feeding the Aliyah from the Torah. Exodus chapter 10, picking up with Exodus chapter 10 for this third reading from the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book called Exodus. So picking up Exodus chapter 10 and verse 1 to Exodus chapter 13, verse 16 for this 15th RSS, Rastafari Sabbatical Study, and our annual Shana cycle of Torah portion reading and feedings for this Shabbat Strong Hebrew first words. Yes, I. B'Shem Ha'am W'Habein W'Ruach HaKadosh Yahuwah Ahad. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, He who be, we be, the one.
Shemot Bo Yod Tate Vav Tate Wow. And here Shema Yisra here for the Rishon Aliyah, here for the first reading, the first Aliyah, the first up offering here for this Shabbat Bo, Sabbath, go in. Here, picking up with the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book called Exodus, here, Exodus chapter 10, for the third reading here in this second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book called Exodus chapter 10, the contest with Pharaoh, the eighth demand. Wayomeri Yahuwah il Moshe, Bo il Paro, Ki ani yachikavati eta livo eta lev vadayo, lima'ana shiti ototai, eile kirbo. And Jehovah said to Moshe, Wayomer Yahuwah il Moshe, go in, Bo, go into Paro, Bo il Paro, for I have hardened his heart. Kiani hikavati etalibo, and the heart of his servants, we'etalev vadayo, that I might show these my signs in the midst of them. Ma'ana shiti ototai ele bikirbo, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son and of thy son's son what I have wrought in Mitzrayim, and my signs which I have done among them, that y'all may know, Ki ani Yehovah, that I be Jehovah. Ulema'ana tisapira be'azneya vinetau vena binekaeta asher hita alaletia b'mitzrayi ve'etototaya asher samti vam ve'yada'etem ki ani Yehovah. And Moses, Moshe, and Aharon and Aaron went into Pharaoh and said to him, Kohamari Yehovah Elohei ha'evrim Adamataya meya anta leya anota mipanaya shalach ami ya'avduni. And Moses and Aaron went in to Paro, to Pharaoh, Wayavo Moshe Aharon ila Paro, and said to him, Wayomru Elayo. Thus, like this, saith Yahweh Jehovah, the Elohim of the Hebrews. Kohamari Yehovah Elohei ha'evrim. How long? Adamatai. How long? Adamatai. How long wilt thou that I refuse to humble thyself before me? Before I. Adamatai meya anta leya anota mipanai. Let my people go, that they may serve me, that they may serve I. Shalach ami ya'avduni. Else, if thou that I refuse to let my people go, send them forth, let them go. Behold, tomorrow will I bring locusts into thy border. Ki ima ma'ina ata le shaleach et ami hinni. Via Mahara Arbe, Bia Gevuleka, and they shall cover the face of the earth that one may not be able to see the earth, and they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped, which remaineth to you from the hail, and shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the field. Wekisa eta aina haaretza ulo yukala yerota eta haaretza weakala eta yetera hapaleta hanisha erata lakem mina habarada weakala eta kola haetza hatzomeach lakem mina hasade. And thy houses shall be filled, and the houses of all thy servants, and the houses of all the Mitzrayim, of all the Egyptians, as neither thy fathers, thy patriarchs, and thy fathers' fathers, thy patriarchs have seen, since the day that they were upon the earth to this day. O maloa vateka, o vate kola vadeka, o vate kola mitrai, asher lo rao voteka, wa vota voteka, mia yoma heya yotam, Allah hadama, adahayom hazeh. And he turned, and went out, from Pharaoh, and Pharaoh's servants said to him, Wayomru, Avode Pharaoh Helayo. Adam mataya yezehelanua lia mokesha shalach eta ha'anshi waya ya'avdu et Yehovah Elohehem het remateda kia avda mitzrayim And Pharaoh's servant said to him, How long, Adamatai, how long shall this man be a snare to us? Adamatai, how long shall this man be a snare to us? Adamatai, let the men go. Shalach et ha'anshim, that they may serve Yahweh, Jehovah, their Elohim. Wa ya'avudu et Yehovah Elohehem. Knowest thou not yet that Mitzrayim, that Egypt, that Kemet is destroyed? Het remateda ki avda Mitzrayim. And Moses and Aaron were brought again to Pharaoh. The contest with Pharaoh, the third compromise refused. Verse 8. And Moshe and Aharon and Aaron were brought again to Pharaoh. And he said to them, Go, serve Yahuwah, Jehovah, your Elohim, your nature. But who they that shall go? Why you shav eta Moshe ve'eta Aaron ila Paro? And he said to them, Vayomer Eleihem Lekhu Ivdu et Yehovah Elohechem Mi Ha Holchim. Go, try, serve Jehovah your Elohim. Lekhu Ivdu et Yehovah Elohechem. But who are they that shall go? Me. Who are me? Ha-holkim. Who and who? Me. Who are me? Ha-holkim. But who and who are they that shall go, that shall try? And Moshe said, we will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds will we go. We will go, for we must hold a feast to Jehovah. Vayomer Moshe, Bia ne'areinu, ua viza kenenu, nelech. Be'vanenu, ua viva notenu. Be'sonenu, ua viva karenu, nelech. Ki hagi Yehovah lanu. And he said to them, Vayomer Eleihem, so be Yahuwah, Jehovah, with you, as I will let you go. And your little ones, see y'all, that evil is before your face. Vayomer Eleihem, Yehi Yakeni Yehovah, Aimekem, Ka'ashara, Shalacha etekem, ve'etadapekem, ru ki ra'a neged panekem. See y'all, that ra'a is before your face. Ru ki ra'a neged panekem. Not so. Go now, ye, y'all that are men, and serve Yahuwah and serve Jehovah. For that is what y'all desire. Lo Cain, not so. Lo Cain, Liku, go, try. Liku na, try now. Go now. Liku na. Ha Gevarim, y'all that are men. Will Ivdu et Yehovah and serve Jehovah. Kiotaha atem be'vakshim. That is what you desire. That is what you desire. Kiotaha atem be'vakshim. Waya garesha otam me'eta b'nei Pharaoh. And they were driven out of Pharaoh's presence, out of the great houses,
face and perception, 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 perception. The contest with Pharaoh, here for the Shani Aliyah, here for this Shabbat bowl, Sabbath go in, here for the Shani Aliyah, the Shani, the second up offering, second reading here for this Shabbat. Here, second book of Moshe, Hebrew book called Exodus chapter 10 here at verse 12. The contest with Paro, with Pharaoh, the 11th miracle, the 11th miracle, the 8th judgment, here at verse 12 for the Shani Aliyah, for this Shabbat bowl. Wayomari Yehovah el Moshe, Nitei Yadika Allah Aretza Mitzrayim Ba'arebe, Ya Allah Aretza Mitzrayim, Yokala Etakola Aisev, Haaretza Etakola Sherai Hishair, Habarad. And Jehovah said to Moshe, stretch out thine hand over the land of Mitzrayim, over the land of Egypt, for the locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Mitzrayim, upon the land of Egypt, and eat every herb of the land, all that the hail hath left. Wayomer Yahuwah, and Jehovah said, Wayomer Yahuwah il Moshe, and Jehovah said to Moshe, Nitei Yadika, stretch out, Nitei Yadika, stretch out thine hand, Nitei Yadika, Allah Eretza Mitzrayim, stretch out thy hand over the land of Egypt. Ba'arebe, by way of the locusts, for the locusts, Ba'arebe. Ya Allah Eretza Mitzrayim, that they may come up upon the land of Mitzrayim, upon the land of Egypt. Yochala etakola Aiseva haaretza etakola shera hishaira habarad, and eats every herb of the land, even all that the hail hath left. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Mitzrayim. And Jehovah brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all night. When it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. And the locusts went up over all the land of Mitzrayim and rested in all the coast of Mitzrayim. Very grievous. Before them there were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. For they cover the land, they cover the face of the whole earth. For they covered the face of the whole earth so that the land was darkened. And they did eat every herb of the land and all the fruits of the trees, which the hail had left. And there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs or of the field throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Then Pharaoh called Moshe and Aharon in haste. And he said, I have sinned, I have ucked up against Yahweh, against Jehovah, Yal Elohim, true God, your nature, and against you, and against y'all. Why am I here, Paro Alikro? Moshe Aharon, then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aharon and Aaron in haste. Why am I here, Paro Likro? Moshe Aharon. Why Yomer Chatati ala Yehovah Elohechem we Elachem.
And he said, Wayomer, and he said, I have sinned, I have upped up, chatati, 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 I have sinned against Jehovah, y'all Elohim, chatati alayoah Elohechem, and against you, against y'all, with Elachem. Now, therefore forgive. I pray that I, my sin, my uckery, only this once, and entreat Yahweh Elohechem, Jehovah y'all Elohim, that he may take away from me this death, only, with Ata. Sana chatati ak ha pa'am with ha etiru la Yahweh Elohechem with ya sera me alai rak eta ha maveta hazeh. Now therefore forgive with ata. Sana, now forgive, now therefore forgive. I pray that I with ata sana chatati aka hapa'am. Now therefore forgive. I pray that I, my sin, my uckery, only this once. Where ha'etiru la Yahweh Elohechem, and entreat Jehovah y'all Elohim. Where yasera me alayrak eta hamaveta hazeh, that he may take away from me. Hamaveta hazeh, that he may take away from me this death. Hamaveta hazeh, this death only. And he went out from Pharaoh, and entreated Yahweh, Jehovah. And Jehovah turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts and cast them into the Yam Suf, the Sea of Reeds, the Eterabahir, the Eritrean Sea. There remained not one locust in all the coast of Mitzrayim. But Yahweh, Jehovah, hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, go. The contest with Pharaoh, the 12th miracle, the 9th judgment, verse 21. And Yahweh and Jehovah said to Moshe, and Jehovah said to Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Mitzrayim, even darkness may be felt. Vayomeri Yehovah el Moshe, niteh yadeka, stretch out thine hand, niteh yadeka, Allah ha shamayim, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, niteh yadeka, Allah ha shamayim. We hear Chosheka Allah Eret Mitzrayim. Wayamesh Choshek. Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be Choshek, darkness over the land of Mitzrayim, even Choshek, even darkness which may be felt. Wayamesh Choshek. And Moshe stretched forth his hand toward Shamayim, toward heaven. And there was thick darkness in all the land of Mitzrayim 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the Bnei Yisrael, all the children, the sons of Yisrael, had light in their dwelling. Lo ra'u ish
Eta achio. They saw not one another. Lo ra'u, saw not ish man. Et achio, they saw not man his brother. Lo ra'u, isha et achio. Willo kamu isha miatachetayo. Neither rose any from his place. Shlosheta yamim, for 3 days. Ula kala b'nei Yisrael haya or be Moshe botam. But the children, all the children of Yisrael, u'lekol B'nei Yisrael, but all the sons, the children of Yisrael, Haya or, let there be light, had light, Haya or, Be Moshe Votam, in their Moshe Votam, in their dwelling.
Lord of mercy, please have mercy. Hey, call Mr. Martin, tell him to bill me $1 million cotton. Hey, call Mr. Martin, we're just starting at the killing season. Hey, Selassie is our master. Selassie is our master, yeah, for the enemies are confounded.
Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat strong.
Yes. They better call on Ha'adon. Yes, for salvation. Here. The third day Aliyah, right here.
And here, Shema Yisrael, here for the Shalishi, here for the third Aliyah, third reading, third up offering, here for this Shabbat bow, Sabbath go. Here picking up with the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book that is called Exodus. Exodus chapter 10, here at verse 24, for the Shalishi Aliyah, for the third reading, third up offering here from the Sefer Shemot bow, picking up with Exodus chapter 10, verse 24, the contest with Pharaoh, the fourth compromise, refused. Vayikra Pharaoh el Moshe vayomer leku ivdu et Yehovah raka sonkem uva karkem yuzagagamat apikem yelecha imakem. And Pharaoh called to Moses and said, Go y'all, serve Yahweh, Jehovah only. Let your flocks and your herds be stayed. Make your little ones also go with you. Vayikra Pharaoh el Moshe, and Pharaoh, the great house, called to Moses, Vayomer, and said, Lechu, go, trod, Lechu, Yivodu et Yehovah, go y'all, serve Jehovah, Lechu, Yivodu et Yehovah, rak, Sonechem, Uva Karkem, Yutzagagamat Apkem, Yelecha, Yimakem. Only let your flocks, rak, it's Sonechem, your flocks, rak, it's Sonechem, Uva Karkem,
and your Bikarikem, and your Bikarikem, and your herds be stayed. Yutzaga, Gam, Tapikem. Let your little ones, also your little ones, Gam, Tapikem, also your little ones, Yelek, Trod, Imakem, with you all. And Moses and Moshe said, thou, the I, must give I and I, also sacrifices and burnt offerings, that I and I may sacrifice Yahweh to Jehovah Eloheinu, I and I Elohim. Vayomer Moshe, Gam hata titena beyadenu azevachim ve'olot ve'asinu la Yahweh Eloheinu. Thou must give into our hand, into I and I hand. Vayomer Moshe, and Moses said, Gam ata, and also the I male, Gam ata titena beyadenu, must give into I and I hand, titen beyadenu, zivachim, sacrifices, zivachim, ve'olot, and burnt offerings, ve'olot, with asinu la Yahweh Eloheinu, that I and I may sacrifice to Jehovah, I and I Elohim. I and I cattle also shall go with us, I and I. There shall not an hoof be left behind. For thereof must I and I take to serve Yahweh Eloheinu, Jehovah, I and I Elohim, the true good, the true God, the nature of natures. And I and I know not with what I and I must serve Yahweh, Jehovah, until I and I come thither, till I and I come there. Wagam, Mikanenu Yelecha, Imanu, Lo, Tishera, Parsa, Kia Mimenu, Nikacha, La Evoda Eti Yehovah Eloheinu, Wahenachnu, Lo Neda'ah Na Evoda Eti Yehovah, Ada Boenu, Shama, I and I cattle also shall go with I and I. With Dam, Miknenu Yelech Imanu. There shall not a hoof be left behind. Lo Tishaera Parsa Kia Mimenu Nikach La Evoda Eti Yehovah Eloheinu. For thereof must I and I take to serve Yahweh Eloheinu, ki mimenu nikach la evod et Yahweh, mimenu nikach la evod et Yahweh Eloheinu. And why nachnu, and I, why nachnu, lo neda'a, ma na evod et Yahweh, al boenu, shama. And we know not with what we must serve Yahweh, Jehovah, until I and I come thither, come there. But Yahweh, Jehovah, hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go. But Jehovah, Yahweh, hardened Pharaoh, the great house's heart, and he would not let them go. Why Yachazeki Yehovah et leva Paro with law ava le shalacham, and Pharaoh said, the contest with Paro, the king, the Melech of Mitzrayim, the Molech of Mitzrayim, the king of Egypt, abandoned to judgment. Verse 28. And Pharaoh said to him, get thee from me, take heed to thyself, see my face no more, for in day thou seest my face, thou shalt die. And Moshe said, thou hast spoken well, I will see thy face again no more, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more. Wayomer lahu, and he said to him, Wayomer lahu, Pharaoh, lech, may Allah get thee from I, lech. May alai, lech may alai, get thee from I. Hiya shamera lika, Allah tosef, reota panai, ki b'yom, reoteka, fanai, tamut. Get thee from I, lech. May alai, take heed to thyself. He shamer leka, ka. See my face no more. Allah tosefa reota panai. For in the day thou see my face, thou shalt die. Ki b'yoma reoteka fanai tamut. And Moshe said, Wayomer Moshe, Ken, divarta, Ken divarta, lo, osa, reota paneka. Thou hast spoken well. The eye has spoken well. I will see thy face again no more. Ken, divarta, lo, sifa oda, reota paneka. And here, Shema Yisrael, here, give here. Second book of Moshe, Hebrew book called Exodus chapter 11. The contest with Pharaoh, the judgment upon the firstborn foretold. Wayomeri Yehovah nil Moshe, Oda, Nega'a, Echada, Avia, Allah Paro, we Allah Mitzrayim, Achre Chena, Ye Shalacha et Kema Mize, Ke Shalacho, Kala, Garesha, Ye Garesha et Kema Mize. And Jehovah said to Moshe, yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh, Oda nega echad, yet one plague more. Od nega echad avi ala Pharaoh, yet one plague more will I bring upon Pharaoh, with Allah Mitzrayim, and upon Egypt. Afterward, he will let you go hence from Heya. He shall surely thrust y'all out hence from Heya altogether. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow, let every man ask of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. Speak now in the ears of the people. Daber na be'azne ha'am. Speak now in the ears of the people. Daber na be'azne ha'am. With Yisha, Elo, and let them ask, where Yisha, Elo, and let them ask, where Yisha, Elo, Isha, me eta re'ehu, where Isha, eta re'utaha, kalea kasefa, ukalea zahav, and make them ask, where Yisha, Elo, Ish, man, me eta re'ehu, of his neighbor, with Isha me'eta re'utaha ka'leya kasefa ukleya zahav. Let them ask every man of his neighbor and every Isha, with Isha, every woman, me'eta re'utaha, of her neighbor, kale kasef ukle zahav, jewels, things of silver, kale kasef ukle zahav, and jewels and things of gold. And Jehovah gave the people favor in the sight of the Mitzrayim, of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moshe, very great in the land of Mitzrayim, in the sight of Paro's servants, in the sight of the great house's servants, and in the sight of Ha'am, and in the sight of the people. Wayiteni Yehovah eta chen Ha'am be'ainaya Mitzrayim gam ha-ish Moshe gadola meoda be'eretz Mitzrayim be'ainaya avdei Faro uva-einei Ha'am. Wayiteni Yehovah etachen Ha'am be'ainei Mitzrayim gam ha-ish Moshe gadola meoda be'eretz Mitzrayim be'ainei avdei Faro uva-einei Ha'am. And Jehovah gave the people favor. Wayiten Yahuwah etachen Ha'am. Favor in the sight, in the eyes of the Mitzrayim, in the eyes of the Egyptians. Be'ainei Mitzrayim gam. Also, moreover, Ha-ish Moshe, the man, the ish, Ha-ish, the true man, the man, Ha-ish Moshe, the man Moshe, Gadol Me'od, was very great, Gadol Me'od, very much, Be'eretz Mitzrayim, in the Eretz, in the land of Mitzrayim, Be'ainaya Avdeya Faro, in the sight, in the eyes of the Avdei Faro, in the sight of the servants of Pharaoh, Uva Ainei Ha'am, and in the sight of Ha'am, and in the sight of the people.
Selassie is our master, yeah, for the enemies are confounded. Rastafari power overthrow them, yeah. You know we are Israelites. You know we are Israelites. You know we are Israelites.
Yes, Sinai praise. Hashem Yeshua, for Israel, those who are Israel, for the Beta Israel, to the four corners of this earth, this earthly plane, and as the Master says, Yeshua HaMoshiach, give thanks, Mr. Kamato, for that. That was brought to I and I attention. I went and I looked up a little something right here. Look up pray, right? Not world. And John 17:9, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them that thou hast given I, for they are thine. So we pray for those who have been given to out of the name of Yeshua, who are Yahweh's, who are the fathers. And in John 17:15, he says, he prayed not that we, that the Most High should take them and us out of the world, but that the Most High, El Elyon, that, should keep us from the evil. So yes, prayers are there, and prayers always, for the called, chosen, and faithful, and those who are Israel. It says not all who are of Israel, but those who are. Yes.
We are Israelites.
And I pray that I and I also be counted in that number, as we pray for others, we pray for I and I ourselves, you know what I mean? For only He know who are those elect.
We are Israelites. We are
Glory to the Most High Jah, Rastafari, King of Kings, Lords of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, light of the world, is His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. Protect my son David as he traveled this lonely path. Steer my son far from bloody men who surround him with opinions sharp as daggers. Bless him with a vision to distinguish friends from foes. Bless his listeners with overstanding and patience. Remind the critics that all judgment belongs to thee. May the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy presence, Selah.
You better purify your heart when you know yourself. It's not by how long you go, you're not here. Say that you know Selassie. It's not by how long you go, you're not here. You come and say that you know Selassie. You're going to church on Sunday. There's no love in your heart.
Psalm 36.
מזמור ל"ו למנצח לעבד אדוני לדוד. נאום פשע לרשע בקרב ליבי.
The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart.
אין פחד אלוהים לנגד עיניו.
That there is no fear of God before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes, before his eyes.
כי החליק אליו בעיניו.
For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, his own eyes, his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful, to be hateful.
למצוא עוונו לשנוא.
The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasure. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down, and shall not be able to rise, 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 to rise.
Elect of the light of this world. Remember now, lines of King David, Ark of the Covenant, Hebrew language, and you must, little children of the world, learn the Ashanti language, learn the ancient Hebrew language, learn the Twi, learn cuneiform, hieroglyphic, New Orphic, Tamarians, learn them languages there, learn the Hamaric language. You see? You see the English language, trying your mentality,
Sirach, the prologue, King James 1611 version. The same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. Sirach. Hebrew boy, everything takes time.
So here, Shema. Give ear. Here, today we have a Midrash, a study on today's daily psalm, Mizmor, Lamed, Wow, Lamed, Vav. La Menatzeach, Le Ered Yahuwah, Le Dawid, Nuum Pesha, La Rasha, Bikareva Libi, Ein Pachad Elohim, Le Neged Ainayo. The opening verse. Now, a couple of notes on this opening verse. As it is translated in the Sefer Tehillim, transgression speaketh to the wicked, methinks. There is no fear of God before his eyes. In the Sefer Tehillim, the Hebrew Psalter, we have the English translation. Now, in the KJV, we have the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart that there is no fear of Elohim before his eyes. Now, if we look at the KJV, just here in the Midrash, in a study right here, let's just do a little study right here on today's daily psalm, because some key things need to be noted. Some have Libi, but there's 4 manuscripts. There's the Ethiopic. Let's bring up the notes right here on today's daily psalm. Today's daily psalm speaks on the grievous state of the wicked, of the ratchet. The grievous state of the wicked, the ratchet. Today's daily psalm also speaks of the curse of alienation from Elohim, the true good, the true God, and the baraka, the blessing of fellowship with him. Now, the preceding psalm, Mizmor, in the hope of speedy deliverance,
puts into the lips of the friends of the new kingship, who were now compelled to keep in the background the words, Yahweh, Jehovah, be magnified, who have pleasure in the well-being of his servant. We have this in the preceding psalm. We have this in Psalm Mizmor Lamed Hey, the 35th psalm, at verse 27. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them make them say continually, let Jehovah be magnified, who hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servant, who hath pleasure in the well-being of his servant. And here, Yaronu we yisamechu chaftzei tzidki we yomru tamid Yigdal Yahweh Jehovah be magnified. Jehovah be great. Jehovah be magnified. Let them shout for joy and be glad. Yaronu we yismechu chaftzei tzidki, that delight in my righteousness. That delight in my righteousness, the Sefer Tehillim, the Hebraic translation, the KJV, says that favor my righteous cause, that favor, chaftzei tzidki, that delight, chaftzei tzidki, v'yomru tamid, make them say continually, itinually, v'yomru tamid, yigdal Yahweh, yigdali Yahweh, yigdal Jehovah, Yahweh, Jehovah be magnified, Jehovah be magnified, be great, yigdal Yahweh. He chafetz shalom avdo. He chafetz shalom, shalom avdo. The peace of his Eved, as we have in the superscription of today's daily psalm. We have Le Eved Yahweh, servant of Jehovah, Le Dawid. David here calls himself the servant, the Eved, the Eved of Yahweh, the Eved of Jehovah. And in the inscription, we have this to today's daily psalm, Mizmor Lamed Wow, the 36th psalm. He bears the very same name to the presenter, to the chief musician, to the leader, La Menatzeyach, to the overcomer, the victorious one, the overcomer, to the presenter by the servant of Yahweh, Yahweh, by Dawid, Lid Dawid, of David. Now we can compare some of the different versions of the script, but here it's just zooming in on this key right here. The transgression, or rather the speech of transgression to the wicked, is within his heart. The speech of transgression. Num pesha la rasha bikarev libi, pointing here libi, others prefer libo. So to be read as Num pesha la rasha bikarev libo, bringing out the sense of the speech, the oracle, Num Pesha, the speech of transgression, the oracle of transgression, La Rasha. So here, transgression being personified speaks to the Rasha, speaks to the defiant one, speaks to the wicked, La Rasha, is within his heart. Big Arab Libo, instead of Libi, my heart. Now, the 4 Hebrew manuscripts that have Libo, and this is also the reading of the LXX of the Septuagint, the reading of the Vulgate, the reading of the Syriac, the reading of the Arabic, the reading of the Ethiopic, and also the reading of the Anglo-Saxon. Now, in the KJV translation, it says, transgression of the wicked saith within my heart. So that note right there, my heart, within his heart. No fear, no reverence, no dread, no reverence. Ein pachad, pachad, dread, fear. Ein pachad Elohim. Le neged ainayo. No fear, reverence, dread, ein pachad of Elohim before his eyes, in his eyes. Getting a groundation on that opening clause right there, because this is an area of the Psalms and Scripture, very, very important psalm right here. So it's in the season. This psalm is themed the divine loving kindness, the divine loving kindness, because of the main theme is the attributes of Elohim, particularly chesdo, chesadayo, his love for his creatures, his creation, 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 creation.
So much love to all my friends. So much love to all my friends. When I say more, you say fire. More fire. King Selassie as the Almighty, I mean, big bad sound like justice. This is the Kalunja passing through. So much love to all my friends. So much love to all.
Here's your time, so there I go, Rasta.
You are never listen to the sound called More Ambassador, a killer.
Oh, you know.
Make the crowd gather round. See the about the number 1 sound. Now More Ambassador make you move so. Come on, little lady. More Ambassador make you rock so. Ain't come on, More Ambassador make you move so. Fuck up a Barrington and move so.
String up the arm and the people start to bounce. More Ambassador make you back up.
Bangladesh.
More Ambassador make you ask up.
Selassie is our master, yeah, for the enemies are confounded.
mountains. Jah loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things have been spoken of thee, O city of God. I'll make mention to Rahab and Babylon to them that know I. With the old Philistine Tyre, with Ethiopia, it shall be said that this man was born there, and the highest himself shall establish the earth. Jah Rastafari.
Babylon burning, Babylon burning, Babylon burning. They have no water. Fire, fire, fire.
Here we have today's daily psalm. We have Psalm 9. Mizmor Lamed Wow. Lamed Vav. Lamed Wow. Mizmor. Psalm 36. Psalm XXXVI. Mizmor Lamed Wow. Lamnatziach Le Evadai Awah. Le Dawid. For the leader, chief musician. A psalm, the word psalm is not there, but in the context of David, lit Dawid, of David. Today's daily psalm is more Lamed Wow, Lamnatzeach, to the chief musician, to the overcomer, the one with Netzach, to the overcomer, just to bring out this sense of the title to the majority of Psalms, Lamnatzeach, also may be translated as the overcomer. Find this especially within the Brit Chadasha sense. Lamnatzeach, to the chief musician, Le'eved, Yahweh, Yod Hey Weh, Le'evedi, Yahweh, Le'Dawid, Neum Pesha, La Rasha, Le'Kareba Libi, Ein Pachad Elohim, Le'Negeda Ainayo, Kia He Chilika, Elayo Be Ainayo, Limso Eono, Lisno, Limso Evono, Lisno, Divrei, Fio, Awen, Mirma, Chadala, Le Haskila, Le Haid, Awen, Yacheshov, Al Misekavo, Yita Yatzev, Al Derek, Lo To, Ra'a, Lo Yimas. Here in the Sefer Tehillim, today's daily psalm is seen the divine, loving kindness. Mizmor Lamed Wow. Psalm 36. Mizmor Lamed Vav. Some enunciate Lamed Vav. We enunciate Lamed Wow. Mizmor Lamed Wow. Lamnatziach Le Evedi Yahuwah Le Dawid, for the leader, chief musician, the overcomer. Lamnatziach, of David, of Dawid, well beloved, the servant of Yod Hey Weh, Le Evedi Yahuwah, Le Evedi Yahuwah, servant of Jehovah. That there is Aleph verse in the Hebrew Psalter, the book of Psalms, and the Sefer Tehillim. The superscription is the Aleph verse. And here for the Beit verse, corresponding to the first verse in the KJV and other Bibles. Neum Pesha'a, La Rasha, Le Kareba Libi, Ein Pachad Elohim, Le Negeda Ainayo. Transgression speaketh to the wicked, methinks. There is no fear, no reverence, no respect of Elohim, the true good, the true God. The true Trinity is the Hebrew Trinity before his eyes. Neum Pesha'a, La Rasha, Be'kareba Libi, Ein Pachad Elohim, L'Negeda Ainayo. Servant of Yahuwah, Abadi Yahuwah. It has been suggested that the sequence of this and the foregoing, the preceding Psalm 36, was determined by the reference to in the later, right here, to his servant, as we have in Psalm 35, round about verse 26, 27, 26, depends on the version here in the Hebrew. Psalm 35, verse 27. David is similarly described in the heading of Psalm XVII, Psalm 18, as the Ebed Yahweh, Ebedi Yahweh, the servant of Jehovah. Superscription, first verse in the Hebrew. Theme of the psalm is the divine loving kindness, divine loving kindness. The main theme is the attributes of Elohim, the true good, the true God, particularly his love, the chesed, his love, his mercy, generosity, his loving kindness, his chesed for his creatures. The main theme of today's daily psalm, Habarim, is the attributes of Elohim, in particular his love, chesedo, his chesed, the attributes of Ha-Elohim, Ha-Boreya, Elohim Ha-Boreya, the creator for his creatures. Its glory is brought into prominence by being set beside the sinfulness, the uckfulness of the wicked, of the ratchet. The poem, the composition here begins with a characterization of the godless, of the Jah-less. But soon it turns from their sordidness, their uckfulness, to extol the goodness of Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, the source, the Hebrew Trinity, the true Trinity, Ha-Elohim, Elohim in language of striking beauty. Today's daily psalm right here. So just touching on these first 3 to 4, say the first 4 verses, including the superscription, first 5 verses in the Hebrew, the Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, and the Hey verse, which is the portraits of the Jah-less. The portraits. What are the portraits of the Jah-less? Num pesha'a la rasha bi'kareba libi. Transgression speaketh to the wicked, methinks, be'kareb libi. Num pesha'a, the oracle of the pesha'a, la rasha'a, to the rasha, to the ratchet, to the wicked, to the rasha, la rasha, bi'kareb libi. In the midst of libi, my heart. Literally in the midst of my heart. Now, here we have in the Hebrew Psalter, in the Sefer Tehillim, the translation, transgression speaketh to the wicked, methinks. So this idea of methinks is in the Hebrew, bi-kareb libi. Bi, in by way of kareb, the kareb, right? The kareb, the midst, the kareb libi, in the midst of my heart. The psalmist and I tries to penetrate. Psalmist is trying to penetrate the mental process. I seeking to trying to penetrate the mental process of the rasha, of the ratchet, of the wicked man, in order to account for his evil way of living. And he images transgression, pesha'a. And there's the oracle of transgression. Num pesha'a la rasha. La for of rasha. The rasha, the ratchet. Bikreb libi, in the midst of my heart, in the midst of my mind. So the psalmist 9:9 trying to penetrate the mental process of the ratchet man in order to account for his evil way of living. And imagining transgression, pesha'a, which is rebellion against Elohim, true good, the true God, the source, inciting the person to sin, to uck up, by assuring him that he or she, but in this context, that he need have no fear, no respect, no fear of being called to account. And here, continuing the bill, right, even in this season of the Psalms, and says that the fool says in his heart, there is no Elohim. There's no El. There's no Elohim. No true good, no true God. But the context, the Hebraic context, there's no judgment. There's no one to bring the ratchet and the ratchet deeds into account. That's the lawlessness. There is no fear, no reverence. Ain, pachad. There's no dread. Pachad. There's no pachad. There's no dread. Ain, no pachad. Elohim, no pachad of Elohim, no dread of the judge, the true good, the true God. Ain pachad Elohim, li neged da ainayo. Le neged before Ainayo, before his eyes. Not the usual phrase denoting reverential awe. We have like Norah, we have like Norah in that sense, for reverential awe, to bring out that sense of what's fear or respect or reverence. But here we have pachad. It's interesting to note that when Yaakov speaks of the God, Elohei, of his father, he speaks about the dread, the pachad of his father Yitzhak. And this is the word we have right here. Ein pachad Elohim, li-neged ainayu. There's no pachad, dread of Elohim. Li-neged before, neged, li-neged ainayu. Before his eyes. The Hebrew means dread, pachad, inspired by the thought of his condemnation and the consequences for such ratchet way of living and doing and dealing ratchetly and wickedly, transgression, rebelling against Ha-Elohim, before his eyes, before his mind, before his perspective, the way he sees things. Lid neged ainayo. Lid neged before ainayo. The ainai, the ainayo. Ainayo. Right? Or somebody says, Ainayo, the Ainayo, let me get Ainayo. Before his eyes to deter him from such ratchet and right? Being rasha, right? Being defiant. As at the Passover Seder, there's the 4 types of children, and we are called to examine ourselves. Which one are we? Which one of the 4 kinds? And one of them is, the 4th is a rasha, often interpreted as the defiant child, right? A defiant one. All right, the rasha. Here we have the, Hebraically speaking, the Gimel verse, which will correspond to the 2nd verse in the KJV. For it flattereth him in his eyes. Ki he chelika elayo be'ainayo. It flatter, it make it smooth. Ki he chelik elayo be'ainayo. For it flattereth him in his eyes, until limso evono, limso evono lisno, limso evono lisno, until his iniquity be found. Limso evono. Some of say that evono. Limso evono, limso evono. Lisno, and he be hated. Lisno, son, he be hated. The Hebrew of this verse is most obscure, some say. Most obscure, this particular verse right here, corresponding to the Gimel, the 3rd verse from the Sefer Tehillim, Hebraically, corresponding to the 2nd verse in the KJV of the 36th Psalm, today's daily Psalm. Ki he chelik elayo be'ainayo limso eono lisno. Don't say perhaps the nearest literal translation, which is intelligible, might be for it, the pesha, transgression, the rebellion, makes smooth. Chelik, makes smooth to him in his eyes, be'ainayo, in his eyes as to his sin, his uckery, being found out to be hated. Limso eono lisno, being hated by Ha-Elohim, Ha-Shofet, the Elohim who judges, Elohim, the judge. The Elohim name Hebraically, when it says the fool have said in his heart, his way of thinking, that there is no judge, there's no judgment. This is the Hebraic sense of the so-called, what you call the atheistic perspective. It just goes on as it does. There's no consequence. If you think there's going to be a judgment for people doing ratchet and wicked things, it's just your imagination. That's their imagination. See, the words are a continuation of the psychological analysis. There's a psychological analysis going on in today's daily song, beginning off in the first, you say, 4 to 5 verses right here. The word, the devarim, a continuation of the cycle, the suke, the nefesh, the soul, logos, the soul talk, the soul word, analyzing the soul talk, the psychic, the psychological state, sin, chatiyat, and its various, the sin nature. It deludes the jales, the godless, with the smooth assurance of immunity. So when they say there is no Elohim, there's no one to judge. Who's going to judge? Who's going to hold them accountable? There is no Elohim, they say, who will discover the crime. The crime was done, but who saw it? Who sees it? That's their psychological state, right? That's their, in a spiritual sense, that's at least a dementia, right? Or so hates it as to pass judgment upon it. Cognitive, one can say, dissonance, deluding themselves. Here, the Dalet verse, the 4th verse, Divrei fio. Awain, mirma, the words of his mouth, divrei fio, divrei, the words, divrei, the davar, like divrei fio of his feet, fio of his mouth, awain, mirma, or iniquity, awain, aven, some enunciate awain, mirma, and deceits. Chadal le haskil le hativ. He hath left off to be wise. Le hativ, to do good. Le hativ. That connection of tov, tovia, hativ, to do good. Hativ, to do that good of Yah, Hativ Yah, to do the good. He's left off. Chadala, le haskil, le Hativ. Iniquity and deceits. Awen umirma. Iniquity and deceit. The psalmist now describes the consequences which follow from such a false hypothesis, a deluded hypothesis. The first effect is seen in a lying and a devious and mischievous tongue. Iniquity and deceit. Aven u mirma. Chadala le haskila le hativ. To be wise, le hativ. To hativ. To have the understanding which distinguishes between the tov, the yetzer hatov, the inclination to tov, right, tov, to good, and the yetzer hara'ah, the inclination to ra'ah, to evil. To be wise is to prefer the former, the first, the yetzer hatov, the inclination to tov, do tov, le hativ, do good. To be wise, he's left off. Chadal, left off. Chadal, le haskil, to be sakal. We had maskil, right, as well. Le haskil, le haiti, to do good. Here, coming to the Hay verse, which brings the first of the 3 sections of today's daily song, right, to a fulfillment. There's 3 sections. The first section is the poor traits of the Jales. The next section, from verse 6 to 10, in the Hebrew will correspond to verses 5 to 9 in the KJV, the attributes of Elohim. Then we have the last section, verses 11 to 13 in the Hebrew, corresponding in the KJV with verses 10 to 12, the concluding prayer right here. But just zooming in right here, just to get a groundation here, the Hay verse, Awen, Yachshov, Al Misha Kavo, Yita Yatsev Ala Dereka Loto, Ra'a lo yimas. He deviseth iniquity upon his bed. Aven, aven, vanity, aven, 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 yachshov, yachshov, chashab, chashab. He reckons, he thinks, he computates, right? Doing the math on iniquity, devising iniquity, the chashab, chashab, right? Yachshov, yachshov, aven, yachshov, ala mishkavo, mishkavo, where he lays down upon his bed. He devises iniquity, devises the reckoning. He reckons aven upon his bed. Yitayatzev al dereka loto. He setteth himself in a way, right? A way that is not good. Not just he feel a way, but he set himself in a way. Yitayatzev al dereka loto. That is loto. That is no to, not good. Ra'a lo yimas. He abhorreth not evil. Ra'a, the ra'a. Lo, no, yimas. Does not abhor evil. Upon his bed, a time and eye were used by the righteous, by the tzaddik, right, and tzaddikim, for wise meditation, ala mishkab, on the mishkab, on the bed where one lays down, shakab. And we have this in Psalm 4, round about verse 5. But by the ratchet, the rasha, because of their pesha, right, that pesha, the transgression, pesha is from the first verse, devises or reckons, takes deep calculations and computations. Yachshov, awen, yachshov, ala mishkavo, for devising base and evil schemes and conspiracies, setting himself in a way that is lo tov. Yita yatzeb al derek lo tov, upon the derek, upon a way, a derek. Yita yatzeb al derek lo tov, that's not good. Deliberately selects the yetzer hara'a, the hara, the yetzer, the inclination to the ra'a, to the evil, instead of the inclination to yetzer hatob, to the good. He abhorreth not evil. Ra'a lo yimas. Lo yimas. Ra'a lo yimas. He abhorreth not evil. His conscience is so dull, is so burnt out, that it does not instinctively recoil from such ratchet doing, from such wrongdoing and ratchet doing and ratchet conduct, 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 ratchet conduct,
Yahuwah behashamayim hasideka emunatika ada shehakim sidkatika beharare el nishpatika tehoma reba adama huwa behema toshia Yahuwah ma yakara hasideka Elohim uvne adama b'tzel kanafeka yechesayun Yirawiyuna mideshena beiteka winahala edaneka tas tashikim kia imeka me kora hayim be oreka nire hora. Thy loving kindness, O Yahweh, Yahuwah, be hashamayim hasedeka, is in the heavens, be hashamayim, Yahuwah be hashamayim hasedeka, emunateka ada shehakim. Thy faithfulness, thy truth, thy veritas, thy verity, thy reality, emunateka, thy faithfulness, thy realness, emunateka ada shehakim, reacheth to the skies. Thy mercy, O Yahweh, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth to the clouds. More correctly, Ada Shechakim. The Shechakim is the skies. The Shemayim, Hashemayim is the heavens. I have this right here in the 5th, picking up the 5th to the 9th verses, the attributes, the midot of Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God. Yahweh behashamayim hasedeka emunatika ada shahakim sidakateka beharare el. Thy righteousness is like the mighty mountains. KJV has thy righteousness is like the great mountains. It's interesting here in the Hebrew we have sidakateka, the eyes righteousness, sidakateka beharare, like the mountains like the mountains of like the mountains of God, like the mighty mountains or the mountains of sidakateka keharare el, sidakateka keharare el, mishpateka tehoma reba, Adam ubehema toshia Yahuwah. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains or the mountains of El, keharare harare El. Thy judgments are a great deep. Mishpateka tehom reba, like a great deep. O Yahweh, thou preservest man and beast. Thou savest man and beast. Adam ubehema toshia Yehovah. Man and beast, thou preservest. So the attributes begin in the heavens, Hashemayim, of he who be, who he be. With Hasedeka, his loving kindness, his mercy. With rapid flight like a bird released from some foul earthly cage and entangling nets and nooses, the psalmist in I rises skyward, upward to higher heights. There, Hashemayim, in the heavens and beyond them, there, Ada Shechakim, in the skies and above them are the loving kindness, Hasedeka, and the faithfulness, Emunateka, the eyes, loving kindness, the Chesed and the Emunah of Elohim, twin qualities which assure and assure to all who receive and who trust in him and he who be, that he will fulfill his promises, his yea and amen, and that these are full of grace and comfort. So the phrases in the heavens and to the skies, Hashemayim and Ad Shechakim, they indicate the limitless magnitude of these divine midot, the divine attributes, the attributes of Hashem, of he who be, like the mighty mountains, or the great mountains, as KJV brings it out. Here we have it more direct from the Hebrew, Sidakateka, the eyes righteousness, the eyes judgments, the eyes righteousness, justice. Keharare, like harare, like the mountains, the hars. Keharare el, like the mountains of El, like the mountains of the true El, Ha-El, the true good, the true God, symbolizing the idea that they are immovable and eternal, like the great deep, mysterious, unfathomable, inexhaustible, as the vast subterranean abyss of the waters. Thy judgments are a great deep. Mishpateka, tehom reba, tehom, the deep, reba, the great deep. Mishpateka, the eyes judgments, tehom reba. Adam Ubehema, Adam Ubehema, Toshia, Yahweh. Man and beast, I preserve us, O he who be. Elohim cares for all his creatures, even the meanest of the animals he careth for, and he saveth. Adam Ubehema, Toshia, Yahweh. We have this also in Psalm 145, round about verse 9. Thus, the next
word sound is how excellent is thy loving kindness, thy loving kind man, O Elohim. Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. Ma yakara chasedeka Elohim uvnei adam b'tzel kanafeka ye chesayun. How precious is thy loving kindness, O Elohim. Ma yakar yakar chasedeka Elohim. How precious. Yakar, how yakar, precious. Chasedeka, the eyes chesed, chesedeka, Elohim, uvnei, b'tzel kanafeka, ye chesayun. And the children of men, the b'nei Adam, b'tzel, the shadow, the shade, by way of, under, on, in the cell, the shade, kanafeka, of the eye, kanaf, the eye's wings, ye chesayun, taking refuge, precious. It is man's priceless treasure. Children of men, the B'nai Adam. See more on this in Psalm 8, round about verse 5. There's the Adam and there's the Ish. Not all man is the same man. Elohim, the Father of all, offers his protection, his guidance and protection to all humanity, to all human beings who, in their frailty and honesty of their frailty, have need of it, have need of he who be who he be. The phrase Tzel Kanafeka, in the shadow of thy wings, B'tzel Kanafeka. More on this we have in Psalm 57, round about verse 2. Here in the section, the attributes of Ha Elohim. Here, moving forward to verse 8, they shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. Picking up here in the 8th verse, KJV, which would be the 9th verse here in the Sefer Tehillim, but the Hebrew, Yirwiyun mideshena betika. They are abundantly satisfied. Yirwiyun mideshen, from the fatness, or with the fatness, mideshen betika, of the eyes, betika, the fatness of thy house. Elohim is thought of as a bountiful host, the host with the mostest, the almighty host, in whose house is bait, guests receive abundance of comforts. With nachal idaneka tashkem, and thou makest them drink of the river of thy pleasures. With nachal idaneka tashkem, river of thy pleasures, the river of thy pleasures, the Nahal Edaneka, rivers of thy pleasure. The delights which he provides flow in a refreshing stream, even the stream of the true Christ consciousness. Let this mind be in you. Refreshing stream. In evaluating these metaphors, the Hebrew mythos, it is well to remember that the psalmist and I speaks the language of what is true and wholesome mysticism, the true logos, the true gnosis, without which religion, or so-called religion, is feeble, formal, ceremonial, and empty. Verse 9 KJV, for with thee eye is the fountain of life, and in thy light shall we see light. For with the eye is the fountain of life, and in thy light shall we see light. Ki. Okay. Ki imeka mekorahayim. Be'oreka nire'eh or. For with thee, For with thee, ki aimeka, aim. We have the aim here, aim like Imanu, Immanuel, Imanu with us, El, the power. Ki aimeka, ka with the eye, male. Ki aimeka with the eye, Mekora Hayim. Mikor, the fountain of Chayim, Chai, of life, Chayim, of lives. Be Oreka, Be in by way of Oreka, the eyes or. Be Oreka, Nire'eh, or, Nire'eh, or, Nireh, hor. In thy light, Nireh, hor, we see light. Fountain of life. Mikor Chayim. Mikor Chayim. Not only physical existence is meant. He who be is the source of all the virtues, strengths which give to life a higher and nobler aspect. More on this in Psalm 34, round about verse 13, 12, 13. In thy light, beautiful verse here, in thy light do we see light. Be oreka nire'eh or. Be oreka nire'eh or. Only by means of the light, which emanates from Elohim, the Word, is man able to perceive the more exalted purpose of living. Remember, man is not emanated from a deity, but that true light which emanates and radiates from the Logos, the Word, Ha-Elohim. Man is able to perceive more exalted purpose of living, the true life, the true state from the fallen state, or the light which the psalmist and I sees, see, and hope still to see, sight, is the light of that joy and peace. When I pray, Jah, when I pray, answer me with the answer of Shalom, which springs from the sense of Ha-Elohim's favor, and which are better even than the visible mercies of which they give the assurance. So we have this verse here which concludes the section, verses 5 to 9, the midot of Ha-Elohim, the attributes of Elohim. And then upcoming, the concluding section, verses 10 to 12, the concluding prayer right here. But that verse right there, Be'oreka nire'eh or, Be'oreka nire'eh or, in thy light do we see light. Seen, sight, 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 sight.
Little Raymond right here, yeah. Little Raymond right here. Tenasaur, y'all bless his soul. Jah is my light.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I fear? Oh, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Jah is my weapon. The Lord is my weapon. Oh, when the enemy are coming, only Jah I can depend on. When the heathen are coming, Jah alone I can call upon. Call upon, call upon. Yes, I can call upon, yeah. God is my light and my salvation. Yes, whom shall I fear? Whom shall I fear? No evil men, I never fear no ogre man. Never fear no Chinese man. I never fear no evil man. No, because the Lord is my guide.
Even no Rasta.
Lord is my guide.
You see what I'm talking about? The light is with the rough. But I concentrate on my Rasta. Trust me.
God is my light and my salvation. Jah is my right hand. God is my left hand. The vampires of the season surrounding me, and closing on my right, and the 20,000 at my left hand. So I never fear no shadow that walking by night. No evil blood.
You think it's every day we play the same fast five? You think it's every day we play the same dub plate?
It's my Lord and my salvation, my only weapon. With God I'm so strong. With the Lord in my soul, I'm so strong. Like a rock on the mountain.
Yes, yes, yes. That's from Psalm 27 right there. Yahuwah Ori, where Yishai. Yahuwah, he who he be, Ori. Ori, my light, where Yishai. Yishai, and my Yeshua Yishai. Mimi Ira, Mimi, from who Ira? Whom shall I be afraid? Yahuwah Ori, where Yishai. Mimi Ira. Here, fulfilling today's daily Psalm 36 right here. Continue thy mercy, thy chesed, chasedeh.
Here we have the last part of today's daily Psalm, Psalm 36, the Lamed Wow. Lamed Vav, some would say, but the Lamed Wow. The 36th Psalm, Psalm XXXVI. Has seen divine loving kindness, and the first verses 1 to 4 was a portrait, or the portraits profiling the ratchet, profiling the jawless, the godless, the jawless, giving a profile, all right, profiling them, these and those, and then contrasting these and those, the chet'ul kafat, the ratchetness of the akka, with the attributes of Elohim, Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, in verses 5 to 9. Now, here in the concluding portion, verses 10 to 12, the concluding prayer. We have the concluding prayer for this psalm which is also themed and called an oracle in the Hebrew. From the Hebraic of it all, it's known as an oracle. An oracle. I find the name to be very, very interesting, Hebraically speaking. This once again, just as we conclude, this is the concluding prayer right here. See, it's men's and evil and men and people, they seek to harm other. Man to man is so unjust. Children don't know who to trust. The psalmist and Ionize confidence and evidence, the confidence in the victory of Adonai, Jah, Rastafari, the victory of Jah and Jah good over the evil, because Adonai is the just ruler of the earth, earth's rightful ruler, who gives and he sustains, the sustainer, the good, the generous Egazi, the sustainer, the generous father, the good father, he who he be. So here we are praying for the divine baraka, the blessing, the guidance, and receiving the guidance in the spirit, the word become flesh, and I, and thus we receive that protection, that guidance, protection, and we can anticipate and expect Ha-Elohim's judgment of the ratchet, of the wicked. Right? So we have the Neum, the oracle of rebellion for the wicked, the ratchet, the identification on the ratchet. This oracle, it comes from the heart. It's heartical here. In the servant of he who he be. Ebedi Hoa, speaking of Dawid, the Ebed Yahuwah. So the oracle of the rebellion, right, of the ratchet, foreseeing the downfall of the wicked, of the ratchet. It's a prophetic oracle about the rebellion from Yahweh, truth, and life amongst the wicked, the ratchet, the transgressors. It emerges from the heartical, from the soul of the psalmist, from the soul of the servant, the Ebedi Yehovah, the servant of Jehovah, and Dawid right here. So, as we said earlier, we could have translated, it could be translated, here is a poem, a composition written as I reflected on the rebellious character of evil men, as I reflected and meditated on the ratchet, the transgressors, the traitors. Now, another opinion, as we said, is to attach the Neum, this oracle right here, is a rebellion of the evil man, right? In the midst of his heart, to the core, to the midst of Ionai heart, to the midst of his heart. So heartically must be received right here. And coming through that opening profile, we get the opening profile in the first verses. verses 1 to 4, if you read in KJV wise, right? That'll be verses 2 to 5. If you look at the Sefer Tehillim, the Hebrew, but this one, the basic low degrees to high degrees. Then we have the attributes, the midot. The midot ha-Elohim. Midot ha-Elohim. The midot of the true good, the true God of Yod-He, Weh-He, He who be, who he be. Giving expression to who he be, his attributes, who he be. In verses 5 to 9. Now here, in verses 10 to 12, we have this on the KJV. Just to complete this here, this is almost a psalm. The psalm's like a liturgy, right? As we start to study it and see its construction and how it's built. Right, and what the psalm is for, and I know what the gathering, or knowing what the psalm is for. So here, in the concluding verses right here, we have this KJV-wise. Let's ride up with this right here, verses 10 to 12. All right, verses 10 to 12. So in the KJV, verses 10 to 12. Oh, continue. The last line in the attributes is for with the eye is the fountain of life. In thy light shall I and we see light. Shall we see and receive the light, right? The streams, right? Even the streams, the higher streams, right? Not only the physical light or life is meant, but the source of all the true strengths, the virtues, which gives to life and the liberty a higher, a more refined, a nobler aspect. Right, in every respect, respectfully speaking, in thy light do we see the light. In the eye light do we see the light. And thus we pick up right here with verse 10. Oh, continue thy loving kindness to them that know the eye. Find this to be very, very interesting. Just in the Psalm Medi here, in the season, the reason for the season. Oh, continue. It doesn't say start. Oh, start out. No, continue. Oh, continue thy loving kindness. Continue thy loving kindness. Continue thy loving kindness to them that know the eye. So is there a condition here? Is there a condition right here? All right? There is very clearly a condition right here. Right? Mishok hasedeka, li yodaeka. Yodaeka. To those who know the eye, Yodaeka. Continue thy loving kindness. Jah's loving kindness, the chesed here, chesedeka, the chesedeka, speaking to he who be, who he be. Mishok hasedeka, li yodaeka, for those who yodaeka, yada, 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 ka, the eye, who know the eye. So Jah's loving kindness is not a theory, a speculation, a philosophical assumption, but it has been actually and really in reality experienced by those who acknowledge, those who know, who have a gnosis. Be still and gnosis. Be still and know this, who acknowledge he who be, who he be. So the psalmist, and I, therefore we pray, word, sound, power, the words of I and I mouth, the meditation of I and I heart, for its continuance. So recognizing the reception of his chesed, chesedo, chesedeka, as we speak to he who be, who he be, mishoka chesedeka, li yodaeka, with tzidakateka, li yisharei lev, and thy righteousness to the upright, to the Yisharei lev, Yisharei Yashar, upright, Yashar, the Yasharel, Yisrael, Jeshurun, the upright of El, the upright of the true good, the upright of the true God, the man who sees the true good, the man who sees the true God. Oh, continue, Meshok hasedeka, li yodaeka, with tzidakateka, le yisharei lev, praying for the continuance. Now, I love this verse, Ray. This is a very powerful verse, a good be still and gnosis verse. This is a very good be still and gnosis verse. Oh, continue. After all that has been said, oh, continue. Not start, but continue
continue thy loving kindness, not just to I, just to me, or just to I, but to I, and to those who know, who have that gnosis of the I. Mishoka hasedeka le yodaeka. With sidkateka le yishrele, to the upright, yishrele, the upright in heart, heartically, heartical. Allah tivoeni, Allah tivoeni, Allah tivoeni, Allah tivoeni, regel, gaewe, gaewe, gaewe or gaeva. Some say gaeva, gaewa, gaewe, gaewa, gaewa, the gaewa, gaeva, the gaeva in modern Hebrew, gaeva. Gaeva, the proud, the regel gaeva, regel gaewa, regel gawa, gawa, gaeva, the foot of pride. Let not the foot of pride. Ala tiboeni, regel gaeva, gaeva, gaewa. Let not the foot of pride overtake I, and make not the hand of the wicked, the ratchet, drive I away with yada rishaim. Al tinideni, al tinideni. Don't let the hand and the works of the wicked, the rishaim of the yad, with yada rishaim, al tinideni. The petition, there's a petition here. Making a petition in this verse must be understood in connection with verses 2, the earlier verses 1 and 2, right? The transgression, right? That speaketh to the wicked, to the ratchet in his heart, in the wicked's heart. This meditation upon the ratchetness of the ratchet, right? So the petition in this verse must be understood in that connection. He and I, we pray, word, sound, power. The words of I, mouth, the meditation of I, heart to be spared from the activities of the transgressors, of the rebels, right, against Yahweh, truth, and life, lest he and I and we be driven from I and I home, be driven from home, be driven from the true spiritual, the conscious home, driven out of that higher state, that higher perception, where in his light do we see the light. The foot of pride here represents ruthless, the ruthless, the ones with their pride, their arrogancy, they trample upon the weak. See, in today's daily psalm, the divine loving kindness and the profiling, right, the portraits and the profile of the ratchet is very, very important. Pointing out the transgression, pointing out the hate, right, pointing out the pride, right. These are those that we must overcome. Man must overcome himself in Jah word, truth and life, Yahweh, Jah word, that word becoming flesh. So don't let the foot of pride might overtake I, both in the sense of those proud and arrogant ones overtaking I and I, or in the sense or us becoming like them. Don't let the foot of pride overtake I, and make not the hand of the wicked, the ratchet, drive I and I away. This final verse right here says, Sham naflu, po ele awen, po ele awen, po ele aven. The workers, the doers of Aven, Po'ele Aven, Sham Naflu, Po'ele Aven, there, they are, Sham, there, they are of the workers, right? The workers there, fallen, the workers of iniquity. Sham Naflu, Po'ele Aven, Dohu awilo yakalu akum. Dohu, they are thrust down. They are thrust down. Dohu, velo yachlu, velo yachlu kum. And are not able. They are not able with lo yachlu. They are not able, literally, and no ability kum, no ability to kum, no ability to rise. Dohu with lo yakalu kum, they are thrust down. Dohu with lo yakalu kum, they are the workers of iniquity fallen. In his implicit and implicit faith, hymenot, emunah, imnet, he and I we seeing the answer. We're seeing the answer to I prayer as the servant of he who be Dawi, right? Saw and see at this point here the answer
to the prayer, the words of our mouth, the meditation of our heart, before it has taken place in time. This is what the words of Rovain, what we pray for, knowing and acknowledge that we have received, right? Even before we ask, that we have already received. He points, as it were, to the evildoers overthrown. They shall fade away, and exclaims, there, look, there they are, Sham, Naflu, Sham, there, Naflu, fallen. Who? Po'ile Aven, the workers of vanity, Avin, Avon, a vain thing. Dohua Wilo Yaklukum. They are not able to rise when humbled. Belohim Ha Shofet, by Elohim, the judge, the righteous judge. It is final. And their power, their ability is broken for always, and is broken in all ways. Glory be to the word, sound, and power. Glory be to our Father B'Shem Yeshua.
Yes. Right there, that last part about there, Sham Naflu, they're fallen. Sham Naflu, Po'ele Aven, the workers, the habitual doers of iniquity, of twistedness. Right there. Here, this is from my nice sister right here. Waleta Tzion. This tune here, House of Vanity, based on a verse in the scripture, the Beit Aven, Beit Aven, Beit Awen.
Vanity is wickedness. Vanity is sorrow. Vanity is emptiness and leaves no hope for tomorrow. In their house of vanity, Betawen. In your house of vanity, Betawen. Lost of their churches are houses of idols, preachers ranting their falsehoods to sheeple. Congregation don't praise the Almighty, but worship portraits by Michelangelo. In my heart, if I cherish sin, then I know the last day first on this day. In the Bible, it is written that the church is not a building, no. It say that the temple of the living God, temple of the living God, the last day first is within. In their house of vanity, Betawen. In your house of vanity, Betawen. Rastafari, lead us far from those who will claim that they are the only righteous one. Oh, Jah, please don't let that be vain. In the way that I glorify your name. In my heart, if I cherish sin, Vanity is wickedness. Vanity is sorrow. Vanity is emptiness and leaves no hope for tomorrow. Vanity is wickedness. Vanity is sorrow. Vanity is emptiness and leaves no hope for tomorrow. In the house of vanity, in the house of vanity, better in your house of vanity, better
Shalom, shalom, Chaverim. Yes, interesting. There's a place in the Bible, Beth Haven. Beth Haven. Is that Beth Haven? I don't know, but yeah, that's the Beit Awen there. Well, let Sion was House of Vanity and the Hebrew Royal Maharic highlight right there, Beit Awen. Leila Tov, Chaverim, Bashem Yeshua, have a Boker Tov, a good rise. Yes, I, Rastafari. Shalom, Yeshua Shalom.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.